So, AJ McCarron spoke out about why he came back to Cincinnati. He said himself that he would not have come back to pretty much any other practice squad in the NFL except for Cincinnati because he said it feels magical here. He loves the people here, he loves the fans, he loves the organization, and he loves the players. So, when he got a chance to come back, he was thrilled to come back. As he said, everything happens for a reason. My journey has led me back here. He does talk about in this article how he is, at one point he felt like he wanted to be the starter and he deserves to be the starter. And now he's perfectly okay with the backup. And that over time he's learned and, kind of matured a little bit. And he's okay with just being the guy on the sideline rather than in the game as long as he can help out the team and be a part of the team. Based on what he has said in this article, I don't think he plans on going anywhere. And I know, he's definitely up there in age, don't get me wrong. And he does actually talk about the Cleveland Browns trade where we almost traded him to Cleveland Browns. But the deal fell through right at the end of before the trade deadline. And he said he was kind of like, it was a weird situation because he thought he was going to get traded. His agent told him he was going to Cleveland. He was ready to go. And then his agent called him and said, nope, you're no longer going to Cleveland. You're staying in Cincinnati. He did speak about how he was still excited he stayed in Cincinnati because he loves it here and he loves being here. Now, again, keep in mind that moving forward out of this year, as long as we keep Jake Browning, which I think we will, I think we'll sign into a contract, Jake Browning's going to be our backup quarterback moving forward. Probably, after how he's performing right now, probably for the next 10 years. Probably until Joe's gone. He'll always be Joe's backup. But if AJ McCarron, I know he's up there in age and only has so many years left, if he wants to be on the practice squad, it's going to be interesting to see how Cincinnati goes about that. Because based on this article, it seems like AJ McCarron, he is perfectly fine as long as he gets to stay on the Cincinnati Bengals. He's okay with being on the practice squad, but only the practice squad of Cincinnati Bengals. Nowhere else. Overall wise, again, like I said, we did see him last week in the game when Jake Browning went down with injury. And he threw a touchdown. He threw a touchdown pass, and that's amazing. Well, obviously it was called back because for some reason they do not want T. Higgins to catch touchdown passes because every time he does it, they always call a PI against him. And some of them have been warranted. Some of them have been very much not warranted, let's be honest. Some of them have been kind of ridiculously crazy. But with that being said, he still looked like he has something left in the tank. So as a practice squad quarterback, if he wants to stay in the team, maybe it's not the worst thing in the world. It comes down to what the team wants to do, again. Because if there's better players on the practice squad and better players for them to kind of keep there, maybe it would be a good, it would be positive to give someone else a shot in the practice squad. And maybe if he doesn't want to kind of linger around, maybe not in the practice squad, but just in case we ever need him, we'll be okay with signing him, I feel like. Now, again, it depends on his age and depends on how long before he actually gets to a point where he can't come back and play. But as he said, everything happens for a reason. Right here he talks about when the XFL season was over, Mccarron said he got a few calls from teams that are interested in bringing him in for training camp. During that time, my son was playing travel baseball, Mccarron said. I wanted to travel with him and the family and watch him play. I'm glad I chose to do that. Everything happens for a reason, and it led me coming back here. And he really pushes that a lot in this article, is that everything led him to come back to Cincinnati. And not even as a starter, as just a backup, just being a part of the team. Zach Taylor does talk about here, he played a lot of college football, whether it was in the XFL last year or all the years that he played in the NFL, Bengal head coach Zach Taylor said. And there's so much confidence that this guy can go in, and this isn't foreign for him. He's a 2-year national championship. He's done a lot of great things in his career. And that's why a lot of people were kind of excited when we signed him back, because they thought potentially he could be the guy who could come in and, be the starting quarterback. And Obviously, Drake Browning has took over that job and he has really just freaking went crazy with it. He does say right here, my kids saw Dad throw the ball and they said they saw T catch it. It was awesome. Obviously, that was also a PI call in the end, which kind of sucks because, like, come on, man, just let the touchdown happen to Mccarron. Let Mccarron eat, baby. Let him eat. Now, on a real note, though, I think it was an interesting, event bringing him back, and I think a lot of the fans loved it. And this guy is someone who took us to the playoffs. When we had a quarterback injury way back in the day, I feel like forever ago now, he came in and he went on an immaculate run and got us to the playoffs. And it's iconic enough that he is back, but this time it's not him doing that. There's another local hero who was getting that job done and really filling the shoes that he filled in that time. So I will say, overall wise, whether or not we keep Jake Browning will definitely dictate a lot of things. Because again, like I said, we could trade him. Potentially they could, someone else could offer him more money. I think they're going to try their best to keep him under contract, and his contract's actually up after this year. He only has a 1-year contract, so they're probably going to try to get him maybe like a 2-3 year deal. And I think he will stay here personally. I think Jake Browning loves it here, and he's not going to go to a new system that he doesn't know and potentially could, look really bad or kind of like downscale his career. So I think he will stay here, and he'll just get paid like probably a 4 or 5 year contract and maybe a couple million. But whether or not anything happens, I mean, listen, the legacy that Mccarron has in Cincinnati is never going to change. Whether or not he does stay, as a practice squad quarterback or third string quarterback for the foreseeable future, it's never going to change what he did. He will always forever be a hero for his past. And, it's nice to see that he got a lot of enjoyment and happiness on being back on our roster. And even though, we thought he wasn't even going to get a chance to play at all, he got to play again. And he got to throw a touchdown pass. And I think everyone really can agree that touchdown pass was a touchdown pass. It might not count because of the PI call, but in reality, A.J. Mccarron threw a touchdown pass for the Cincinnati Bengals in 2023. That's just a fact of the matter. It's on the stat sheet. It's not proven. I'm sorry, not 100% like refs didn't call it, yes. But at the end of the day, it was a bullcrap call, and he got a touchdown. So, shout out to A.J. Mccarron. Shout out to him and his opportunity to finally come back to the team, as he says he loves more than anything. You guys are watching. Peace out.